We're live.
We're live. Yeah, we are live. Vance, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Volume good? All right, I think we're ready to go. Everybody looks suited and booted. New Jersey, you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. Florida, you guys ready? Okay, sweet. So there might be a couple of new people. So I can't see you because I don't know who's new or who's not new, really, from a distance. But if you are new, welcome. Nice to see you in this space. And I'm just going to jump in. So what we've done thus far is that both Jersey and Miami, you guys have met me for a little bit of time. If you're new, you have not. And so we need to obviously schedule some time to do that, to just kind of walk through some things. Everybody should have received an email back from me with regards to their results from the 9 mental skills assessment, where there is a graph and they're talked through kind of what you presented to me in a little bit of a report. So everybody should have that completed that. If you did not receive that, you might want to check your email and or send me a message via the classroom or text me. And so that way I can make sure that you are receiving that resource. With that will come some additional emails. I will, in the next week, you'll be getting some text messaging from me just to kind of help you along this journey that you're on, just some motivational things. But you will get emails as well. So just to let you know that you kind of receive some additional resources or information from me specifically. Jersey, last Wednesday, you guys actually had a video that talked about the mental skills and the whole idea of really what we're talking about. Miami did not necessarily receive that, but I'm going to speak about it a little bit, and theirs will be in their classroom, and they'll be able to go back and take a look. But at the end of the day, what we are trying to do, you all know, this is technically some of you all's week 3. Already at test, and so we, the time is going, and we have to start thinking about how do we start accomplishing or achieving the goals that we're looking to achieve. So I wanted to chat today and spend a little bit of time on something that sounds easy because we hear it a lot and we talk about it a lot, but it's about goal setting, and I want to make sure that we there's some pieces with goal setting that I really want to make sure that you guys are really tracking. When we talk about goals specifically, everybody's goal and or dream in the room is to play professional football. Whatever level that might be different for some guys in the room, but the reality of it is that you all want to quote unquote play professional football. And because of that, that's an out there goal. But in order to get there, there are things that we need to do to accomplish that. And that's why you all chose TEST, because you believe that TEST gives you the best opportunity for your success, for you to quote unquote accomplish the big goal that you have set out for yourself. In this slide here, it talks through, I'm going to kind of walk through some of these slides today too, by the way, and this will be, this recording will actually go in the classroom, just so that people, if you want to go back and take pictures of things, I know we're not all studious note takers, but there are some things that you want to take some notes on, that would be fantastic too. So when we talk about goals, this is just kind of part of the process. I want you guys to be consistently great at what you're doing, and the only way to get there is obviously to pour in. But there are some tricks to this. Okay. People often ask, why should we even set goals? You think the answer is simple, but it actually is not as easy as it may seem. But ultimately, this is a when you set your mind onto something that you're deliberately energizing yourself. You're actually being able to sustain behavior over time to ensure your progress. Many of you have heard me say to you in just our meetings is that this process is short. This is a window in your life, really. It's a, we can look at it and just simply say it's 6 months maybe of your life, this particular window. Well, you've already lived many, many months and many, many weeks. And so for you to be able to set your attention onto this particular thing that you're looking to do, it ensures that your behavior and it helps you make sure that you have the right progress and that you're moving in the right direction. So that's one of the main reasons why we set goals is because we really want to make sure that we have the right behavior to ensure the progress to be able to accomplish the thing that we're looking to do. Goal setting in and of itself, just briefly, it activates our behavior, it directs the behavior, it adjusts the behavior, and it sustains our behavior. So, just so you guys are tracking this in your own brain, you decided I want to be a professional football player. That activated behavior. Whether you decided that when you were in 3 years old, 12 years old, 17, 20, at some point you made that decision that that's what you wanted to do. That's telling you where you want to go. It activated the behavior. Then we begin to start directing the behavior. I'm going to go here and play there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the thing. My behavior is directed. Now you are actually in this adjusting behavior and sustaining behavior area of your goal. The adjusting behavior is many of you are learning how to run, learning how to lift in a way that you can maximize reps, learning techniques that you didn't know when you're trying to do the L or the three cone, different drills. So now you've adjusted your behavior so that way you can try to accomplish the original goal of where you are and what you want. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then obviously my hope and dreams and desires for you is to sustain the behavior that gets you your goal. And this is going to just be a moment, a season of work that's super important. Okay. So the benefits of goal setting is there's this word that we talk about, and it's about motivation. And there's something to be said about what motivation is. And this is really what it looks like. And I really wanted you all to like kind of this is the slide, I guess, if you will, that's going to kind of help you buy into yourself, is what I say. So if you want to, this was probably one you might want to take a picture or make sure you have a copy or something just to remind you of really why do I set a goal, but realistically, why do I adjust my behavior? Why do I sustain behavior? Why do I direct behavior? It's all about motivation. And you all, people would say, oh my goodness, you guys should be motivated because X, Y, and Z. But I understand that there's life involved in what you do and understanding that there are moments where motivation is not as high as it could be or should be. And this slide gives you a really good understanding of what motivation actually is, the sources of it, where it comes from. And I'm just going to walk our way all the way from external to internal so that you guys have a true understanding of what this looks like. And you might see yourself at one of these points. And I'm sure that you have seen yourself at all of these points at some point in your journey and in your process. So if you know like why you really want to be a professional football player, um, it's good to start exploring why or why not, why you want to do that. Like there's something to be said about chasing after this dream and being a part of this journey. So from the left side, for me, I think that's the same for you all as well. But we're talking about external motivators. So when you look at motivation, You have extrinsic motivators, which are things that are outside of you. That's everything in this arrow. This is all considered extrinsic motivation. It's going to feel like you're in school for a moment. This is an extrinsic motivator. Everything on this arrow is an extrinsic motivator. And then we have intrinsic motivation, where we don't need to be told what to do at all. Like you don't even need a prompt. Meaning, if I were to drop a child off at a playground, you do not need to tell them to go play. They will naturally just, you'd be like, okay, I guess I go swing. I guess I go slide. I guess I go do. That is called intrinsic motivation, meaning that you just naturally go and do without any prompts. Like you get placed somewhere, you just go and you do. Some people call this when you become a natural born leader, like you just show up in a space and you just lead, just because that's just who you are, what you do, how you do life. Some of us have those qualities, some of us don't. But that would be intrinsic motivation, something that's within us that we don't need anybody to tell us to do it. And everything in this arrow, extrinsic. Okay. And there's a scale, there's this continuum when we talk about all the way here to the left side with external. And what this looks like is this. External motivators, these are typically your rewards and punishments. You guys all played in college, you played in high school. Coaches use rewards and punishment. They do to motivate you, right? You've heard this. Like, you're like, oh, that's, yeah. But it doesn't sustain us. It works for a minute. If you had a parent that disciplined you and you used to get spankings as a kid, then that's a punishment, or you get whatever that looks like. You're on punishment. It doesn't sustain behavior, but it is an external. It is a motivator for a moment, and it does work. You can look at here, rewards and punishment is also, I call it, as you all know, getting the bag. Okay, getting paid. That's a reward for your work. It's an external motivator. It doesn't necessarily sustain you over time. And we see a lot of examples of that. Oh, that guy got paid, and so he doesn't work as hard, and he's not working as much, and he's not watching as much film. We see a decline sometimes upon people who do get the money, right? Because it's an extrinsic, it's way out there. It's external. It's an external motivator. Moving over, shame and guilt. That is a motivator. Shame is a motivator. Guilt is a motivator. These are things that are outside of us sometimes, but they do motivate us to do something. When you guys show up in the facilities that you're in, if you are shamed, that's a motivator. You're like, I don't know, I don't want to feel that way, so I'm gonna do something to change. Guilted into doing something. Those are motivators. And so I'm sure along the way that you have experienced shame and guilt as being used as a tactic to kind of get you moving in the right direction. I sometimes actually use that as a motivator for many of you all over our process. You'll hear me essentially guilt you in, like saying, I know I'm very transparent. Many of you already met me, so you know how I roll. So, hey, look, this is the process. If you want to get on board with it, get on board with it. If you don't, then don't. I mean, I don't know if that's considered guilt and shame, but it's similar. So, I mean, I want you to take advantage of your resources. You'll continue to hear me say that for however long y'all are there. It's a big deal. I share that with my own children. I'm sharing it with you guys. I need to share it with myself. Like, there are resources that are at my disposal. I need to utilize them. It's a big deal. Sliding over, accepting others' values. This is a unique space. This is an area in which motivates us. That's actually why many of you chose TEST. TEST has values. We're part of it's a family atmosphere, family feeling. We really do care about you as a person first. And then secondly, we want you to do well professionally, if you will. So those are things, we have those values. That is huge. You see it in the people that are working with you, in Gare, Skip, you see it in Vance. You see that desire from them to want want the best from you individually as a person, because that's just why you chose us. I mean, this is what we do. Um, and that is a value system. Test has a value system, and you have begun to accept that value system because you know that that's going to help you accomplish the goal that you're looking to accomplish. It is a motivator. Okay? Everybody tracking this? Okay. So, self identity. Okay. The last one here. As we kind of get closer and closer to more internal motivators, this is obviously where you want to be for things that you want to accomplish when we talk about goals. So, if you believe that you are or you identify with something, then you will more than likely accomplish it and or stick to it. So if you identify with yourself that this is who you are, this is an identity for yourself, then you will have a higher probability of sticking to or sticking with something. These people, especially around now, we talk about New Year's resolutions, or I got a word, or I'm going to do something different. But if they don't necessarily identify with that as this is who I am or what who I need to be, then the likelihood of them sticking to that is very, very slim. So if you identify yourself as a professional, then you will have a higher chance to stick to this process and be motivated to actually accomplish the goal that you're looking to accomplish. You all have played college football, so you know people on your team that really like they just there. We here. Like I'm just on the team. It is what it is. And you know that, you see that. It doesn't mean that they're not a good player or they can't help you win. But as we weed people out, this is what we do. We start to understand, like, if I don't self-identify with this process, then I'm not going to maintain my level of motivation that I need for me to accomplish the goal that I'm looking to accomplish. So I'm going to give you guys a thought that goes with this. I want you to think about your goals on the front side of a sticky note. So it's kind of like whatever you believe you want to accomplish, whether it's the 40 or the benching or everything included, jumping, speeding, all the things, getting drafted, being whatever that is for you, those goals. They're on the front side of the sticky note. What makes the sticky note stick are the values that you have, i.e., the motivators that you have, the self identity, accepting others' values, whether it's a little bit of shame and guilt in there, whether it's the rewards and punishment. Those things become the sticky on your goals. Now, obviously, the closer you are to self and identity, the more internally motivated you are, the stickier your sticky note will be. Okay, that's my little analogy. That's just for me. It helps you understand what this looks like. If you were not motivated and you had these goals and you had nothing on the back of that, you already know that it's just gonna fall down. It's just not gonna happen. So we got to start checking ourselves and our own, how we feel, how we view ourselves, how we view this process. Like, are we really giving it our all? Like, literally, are we doing a little extra that Robert mentioned that I do before I leave the facility or whatever it might be? Like, am I really doing that? If I really gain weight, am I just getting a little extra scoop of peanut butter? Really? Am I really doing that? Like, am I putting forth the energy and effort? Okay, that's why literally for all of you sitting here is why we pressed you to get these forms and things done for the providers. Because it's like a little thing. It kind of gets you started. And it also lets you know, like, hey, it's important to us. We're reading through those things. I'm leafing through all of those, looking at all your questions that you answered. I mean, this is a big undertaking. And so we want to make sure that we're doing our best to help you do your best. It's a big deal. So, wanted to spend some time on this for you all. The things that are motivating to us We have to be honest with what they are. Maybe it's to get paid. Maybe it's to help our family. Maybe it's just because this is just what I was told that I should be, or this seemed like this should just be the next step that I should be doing. But we have to be able to at some point understand, like, well, what is that that's motivating me? Once I know and identify that, then is it internal or external? Hopefully, it's more internal, so that way you can actually stick to this grind that you've chosen to stick to. Okay, so real quick, if for an example, you are internally motivated, okay, take a look at what you receive essentially. If you're internally motivated, you will see a decrease in natural anxiety, meaning like this is just who I am, what I'm doing. It's stressful, but I'm not exhibiting anxiety or that kind of high level stress. Like, okay, I know I got to go here and do that. Like, I gotta have these interviews. I gotta. Like, it's busy, but it's just natural stress, but it decreases the ultimate anxiety that comes because you're internally motivated to do what you want to do. It also increases your ability to concentrate, positive emotions it talks about in there, that flow state, like I'm in it to win it. I just feel like I'm doing what I need to do. Obviously, your effort will increase, and hopefully with your effort is persistence in what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. Got one more thing for you to just kind of see. If you can see this, there's some little words in there, but it's all good. So when we talk about setting goals, it's really a 7-step process. It's a lot of steps to this. So when you're thinking about you've defined who you are and what your goal is, you got to figure out where you are right now. That's why we do testing in the beginning. Then we're going to decide what you need to develop. That's part of this process of the medical day and talking to the providers and knowing exactly what you need to develop. You know, you're watching the videos and films that are being provided to you. You're getting your weekly nutrition information. Okay. Then there's this plan every week, essentially, that test is developed for you actually already to for your steady improvement. With that steady improvement should be short-term goal accomplishment, because you want to run a 4.240, but that 4.240 is not going to happen until March or April. It's not going to happen in February. So we have to set and pursue short-term goals that will get us each incrementally along the way. Okay. And then we know that you all will be step 6 is committing yourself completely to this goal, to these short-term goals. And then 7 is just monitoring our progress. And we try to do our best job of doing that with you all on a weekly, daily even basis for many of the things that you're looking to accomplish. Okay. That's what this process looks like. It's a big one. There's lots of steps to it. I think when we're really trying to accomplish something as large as what we're trying to accomplish. So again, these will be up. You'll have these slides available to you. Okay. So it's just us now. Um, what I want to make sure that you guys are tracking is like you all have some goals. There's some things you want to do, and I'm going to share with you some very practical mental skill like tips. I've shared some with people already, just individually, but I am going to speak to the group about them collectively so that everybody can take advantage of these things. One of the things I've shared with some is if you have one of these fancy phones, they have codes on them. Some are 6 digits, some are 4 digits, whatever they may be. I've shared with people that some of their codes could actually represent maybe the 40 time. It's something that you see all the time. You're putting it in all the time. You're getting your brain ready to accomplish the thing that you've set for it to accomplish. Okay, that's an example. Another example of something that we know we need to do is and I'm not advocating you steal, but I am advocating you to borrow an expo marker. Maybe if you're with a roommate, you got roommates or whatever you were doing, but in your bathroom and where you're staying, you need to write the things that you're looking to accomplish through this process. Vertical, broad, 3-cone, L drill, 40, bench, better routes, better release, identifying, coverage, whatever it is, the things that you're looking to improve, which should be at minimally 10 things probably. We need to take them with a whiteboard marker and write them on our mirror in our bathroom. The whiteboard marker, expo marker, not expos only. Okay, don't come and tell me, Rob, I put that thing up there with a Sharpie. Don't do that. Expos. You can put it on the mirror. It writes perfectly. It erases at some point, but I would write those things up there because you get dressed in the morning, you brush your teeth. I sure hope you're looking at yourself in the mirror. It is a place in which you go to often. You see the thing. It's in front of you. It's not something that's just in your head only. We have to get these goals that we're looking to accomplish out of our own heads, literally onto something, so that way we can start to see it. Okay? So that would be 2 things. Changing our passcode, maybe for our 40 guys who want to run faster. I always find that to be just a super unique thing that we can do. Because if you can't see that number, you don't even know what that number looks like, the likelihood of you running it is very, very slim. Okay. Here is another one that I'm going to share because I have shared a portion of this with some of you all fellas. So, for example, if we're looking to do certain number of bench presses, one of the suggestions I gave is that before we leave the facility every day, that we literally go to the bench machine. We put up 135 probably on there, but we do 135 26 times, 28 times, 19 times, 13 times, whatever that is that you all are looking to accomplish every day before you leave, you should lift that number of weight on the bench. Okay? Because at some point, you'll have 225 on there, and your muscles, i.e., your mind, will be like, oh, this is what I do every day. I just put this weight up 23 times, 28 times, 31 times, 14 times. I do it every day. It becomes a thing that we do. So when pro day shows up, when combine shows up, when personal workout day shows up, your body just is like, I mean, okay, I guess this is just a little heavier, but I'm supposed to do this. Whatever the times I've been doing this every day, I've been adding a little bit every day. It's just a mental space. If 135 is a little heavy, maybe for somebody, then do a little less. But we should put the bar up itself, 30, whatever the number of times that we're looking to accomplish on the bench. Is everybody tracking that? It's like a little thing that has huge dividends. It's literally almost saying to myself, let me do like a couple of, 40 starts. And so I'm going to speak about these 40s too. And this is from Robert through Otto. Like, we work together, everybody. Listen, you all have video film of your 40s starts, I believe. Pretty sure. If you don't, you'll have it. You need to watch it like a lot and make the corrections that you need to do. a lot, because you're learning how to do something that you probably never knew. My assumption is you probably never knew it. So you have, I don't know how long you've been running, but maybe since you're 3 years old. Well, however old, I mean, it's like years of trying to correct something. And so when we're in this space where we have a lot riding on this, then what I say to you is this: you have to spend a lot of time watching yourself do it correctly, um, asking questions, and putting in a little bit of extra work on fixing some of those technical things, whether it's getting in starts, finding your comfortable place, putting the weight on your finger, whatever the stuff is, you can do that at 5 o'clock at night, at 10 o'clock at night, in between playing Call of Duty, playing NBA 2K. I mean, you can do a few more of those for yourself. If to me, I always liken it to if me going and spending, I don't know, uh, let's see here, you're in the gym. I mean, like 5 days times eight, whatever it is, 40 more times doing the bench press, doing 3 to 5 more minutes of like 40 start stuff. Like that just adds up. So that way you can actually feel like, man, I'm making great strides in a short amount of time. And what we know is this: is that players and people who come through here who do this kind of thing, they see the biggest gains and the most improvement. So I'm sharing with you some mental tips, how your brain actually works. I won't dig all the way into the science behind this yet, but at the end of the day, we know, like, if you do a little bit of these imagery type things, meaning I put up these weights a little bit and I'm seeing myself, my body and mind is seeing myself do this however many times that I set my goals towards, that's a win, a huge win for everybody probably in this room that wants to run a faster 40. I'm assuming that's everybody. The other thing that I'm going to offer that you do, I've given you like 3 things so far. This will be my 4th thing, I believe. Yes. Is this. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has a timer. Um, I would be setting the timer to like 4.4, 4.9, 4.8, whatever those seconds are, and just repeating, letting the timer go. Just close your eyes, hitting start, letting the timer go, and you just kind of go through the 40. You just go through the 40 as often as you can. Again, that's something that you can spend literally, because it's only 4 points. It's basically 5 seconds for the most part for most people, less 5 seconds or less of time. So if we just did that for 1 minute, think about how many times that you are able to do your 5-second visualization of the 40. Anybody want to give me an answer? Math, oh man, don't be trying to calculate it. 12 times. 12. Just 12 times. So in 1 minute, you could run 12 40s, is what I'm saying to you. Mentally, imagery, watching film, but watching yourself. In 1 minute, you could run 12 40s. Ooh, wow, that's amazing. In 2 minutes, you could run 24 40s. If I told you to go outside and run 24 40s right now, you'd be like, oh, no, dog, I'm good. Right? It would be defeating the purpose. But you can use this kind of technique, this kind of imagery, to help you run 24 40s in 2 minutes. If you spent 2 minutes a day doing this, then you would get 24 extra 40s in, times however many days you do it. That's what many of you all need, like 300-400 of these repetitions to be able to do the thing that you're looking to accomplish. That's what we're looking for you all to do. That's how you get better, quicker, in a short window of time. Okay? It's literally how you actually why you in football you spend all those hours watching film is so that way your brain can start to create pictures so that way when you get out on the field that the brain has already got the picture of what's happening and you just kind of know where to go and what to do. Although people say it's a reactionary sport, it's really not. Y'all are really thinking, you know what to do. You've created pictures for your brain to go and do the things that it needs to do. So I know many of you're super smart people. You just have to use how you learn best to help you do these things. And this is one of those things that we do. Okay. There's many more of these. I will give them along the way. But these, if we any choose 2, 3, 4 of these things, I would do them in a heartbeat. I would begin now because it's going to do nothing but impact and improve where and what you're doing. Because we're asking you to do a lot of things in a short amount of time. So I'm tracking that. But this is a way for us to get more of that in so that way we feel like we're really making good strides. Anybody got any questions? No question. Everybody good. Okay. There's resources and getting ready to leave you all. Jersey, I'm still figuring out when I'm coming to see you all in person. It actually is probably going to be sooner than later. And it's just so that way you know that I'll be there. And then I think when I'm there, wherever, when I'm in Jersey, I think we can do this same thing, and Miami will be able to see. We will hook it all up. I think it'll all be perfect. So that way they'll have me live and you'll have me video at the same time. I think that'd be cool. So we'll make that happen. So if you have any questions, again, please ask. I know you may have some individual personal things. Please ask. Let me know what's up. So all is well. I'm excited for you guys to continue along with what you're doing, but I also want to guilt you in. Like these are the things that I know that work. They work not only in this process, they work outside of this process with all of my clients that I work with. Something that we need to accomplish. So with that being said, I will see you all very soon. Miami in the classroom will be the video that Jersey saw last week. So you guys can go in there and watch that. It's about, I don't know, 18 minutes in length. And that'll be in there. Okay.
Perfect. I got a question.
Go ahead.
So when you was talking about goal setting, so the most important thing we should be focusing on right now is like the mental visualization on the goal setting. So not much so be so specific on just mental ones.
Yes, that's super important. First, I mean, you guys all have like numbers in your mind, what you want to do. So we got to get that written out on paper, essentially, somewhere. That's why I offer the whiteboard marker on the mirror. So putting our attention on that is super important.
Would you pick like?
Go ahead.
Would you pick like when you're doing that? Would you pick like one number, or would you put a range for yourself?
Give me an example.
So, all right. A better way of asking. I'm asking that because should I be realistic when writing it or not? Like, could it help us like just because I like setting my goals really high, you know?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna set my goals. So the old school saying, if I miss the moon, I'll be amongst the stars.
That thing. The stars if I fall, I'll land on the cloud. You know?
Yeah. That thing. Okay. Let's see how much time we have. We got enough time. Okay. Realistic. Realistic. So let's here. I'll ask you this. So you tell me, what do you want to bench? Like how many times do you want to do 225?
Like at least 25 plus.
25 plus. Okay, so you tested already. You've done this, right? How many did you do the first time that you kind of did the testing?
Um, I only got like 10 up because I'm not
It's
sure.
all good. Just be honest. It's no nobody. Everybody in the same boat, man. Trust me.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so
I only
you
got
got
10 up.
yeah. Okay. So from when you did that all the way till pro day, we'll use that as a day, whenever that is. You know when that is. I think maybe not close. But so just you could do the mental math and say, oh wow, that's going to be 33 sessions at test, something like that, right? And so whatever those days are, 33 opportunities, but that's my process. So I should be able to increase my strength, but really it's techniques too, techniques and strength. You're a strong dude. I mean, come on. So it's technique and strength, and I should be able to go from 10 to 25. That's not unrealistic. That actually is about what we see. So I would say if you wanted to go at 25, then I would put 25, I would do 135 25 times every day before I leave.
Absolutely.
That's what I would do. If for, because I'm not going to talk to you about failing necessarily today, but if you came up short of 25 and you did 24, like, man, what a shame, right? It kind of goes back to that same, like, well, I missed it, but maybe I should have set the goal for 20, 30, and I came up short and I hit 29. Well, that would be unrealistic to go from 10 to 30 to begin with, and we're setting ourselves up for the failure to begin already. So I hear what you're saying. So yes, something like that, I would be 25 is probably a really good number that you could accomplish, and then you have to say to yourself, what do I need to do to get there? That thing that Robert mentioned before I leave every day, 135. Okay, I'm gonna do that 25 times. Okay, I'm gonna do that because I know that's going to help me. It's one small little thing in addition to the right technique and, squinching your scapula back there and all the little things you do. You work on that stuff over and over again when you're not even quote unquote in the gym. So those little technical things that you have to work on, shortening your arms, you know what I'm saying? All that they're telling you all the things that you can do. You work on that stuff, not just when I'm benching. You do that like when you're waiting in line to run. You just kind of get yourself, you just go through those reps as many times as you can, so that way it pays off at the end.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Great question. I know
Appreciate
people set these crazy goals too. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna run a 4-1. You ain't never seen 4-1. Just stop. And I know what it means. I know what it looks like. So some of these things, like you can be honest too. Like you can ask. We'll tell you the truth. Like Otto is good at telling you the truth about really how fast you think you can run. Like, like if you just do this though, this will get you to where you're going. But there's some things that have to happen. So, but yes, that's a great one.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
No, you're very welcome. 25. Let's go. Anybody else? Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of the week, the rest of the day. Now, hey, listen, everybody gonna be doing the last little bench presses and stuff before y'all leave. That's what's up. Appreciate y'all doing that. It's gonna be like a thing. And the crazy thing is this. I'm gonna tell you this because y'all are in the room. This is called shame and guilt right here. Not everybody in these rooms are gonna do that because they like too good for it. Yeah, I'll be all right. Trust me. So y'all can prove me wrong. That'll be good. I'm just throwing it out there as a shaming and guilting. I'm shaming and guilting you all right now. Like, not everybody gonna do it because y'all think y'all too good. Okay. Is it worth the contract or no contract? Is it worth $83,000 or $265,000? I don't know. Might as well put in the effort. Cool. Appreciate you guys. Y'all are a blessing. So I'll see you very soon. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
I'm out. Yeah.